Hello and welcome to Zgermanguy Reviews. I'm Zgermanguy. And welcome back, my friends, to another edition of Kingdom Hearts, a retrospective. We open up at Yen Sid's tower, where the old wizard tells the rest of the small crowd that Axel has been given a mission in order to show how serious he really is about joining their cause. Mickey has a good idea. Why not, instead of just standing around and doing nothing, he could join the boys in their dream and help them, but Yen Sid replies that he can't, because he says so. And even if he could, he is unable to locate Sora. Next up, Sora, once again, is confused.
Other breaking news. Water. Wet.
At least you don't have to deal with confused and annoyed. That's a much worse combo.
You're part of this?
Hey, let's hit these plot points in order, Sora.
Yes, imagine if all the key important information is all over the place. We wouldn't want that, would we? Zigba explains that he and the other Black Coats have hijacked our dream right from the start and that they have altered and manipulated our Mark of Mastery exam, and now they brought us here. Sounds simple enough so far, right? Let's bring this shit show on the road!
Bingo! You were able to go back in time to just before your home became a sleeping world, only because a past version of you already existed there. And I can see, in the past, you already met Mr. Rope Guy. Yep, he was there then to make sure you ended up here now.
That's ridiculous!
It sure is. It's too perfect. Who'd ever believe it? Which is why you idiots never saw it coming.
Is anybody else getting the distinct feeling that he's not talking to Sora right now, but instead us? Suddenly, we are being surrounded by code guys and fall asleep, waking up on Destiny Island, where the nameless guy has been waiting for us. And guys, final warning, it's only getting worse from here. So, this game introduces time travel as a plot point. Yep, Nomura looked at this story and thought to himself, it's not complicated enough yet. Well, at least he managed to keep himself from putting in parallel universes. Don't you fucking dare writing that down! But time travel doesn't work as time travel usually works. Now, in order for time travel to work in this game's universe, a version that existed of you in the past must be present. Wait a minute. If a version of you must exist in the past, how could Sora go back in time in KH2? If he wasn't even born yet. This seems like a nitpick, but think about it. If these are the rules that Kingdom Hearts is proposing, then they have to follow through. Also, you can't have a body when you are in the past. To do that, you must be a disembodied soul/mind. Luckily for Xehanort, he did all of those things when we first met him in KH1. He already separated himself from his own body. Oh yeah, and the reason he talked with Sora in the first place was so that he could now today be transported to this world, or something. Because smoking weed every day is good. What Xehanort also did was to go back in time to tell his past self that lived on Destiny Island to leave his home so he can become an evil overlord in the future. I'm just gonna treat it like a 127-hour situation. Just Cut it off. Cut it off. Don't even look at it. Just blast right through.
At this point, I still had no idea that I was talking to myself.
It hurts. From that point forward, we know the other stuff. The being in the brown coat, which is according to the guy next to us, Xehanort's heart. Which is ironic considering that this was Xehanort's Heartless that takes over Riku's body to gain access to his thoughts and experiences. The robed figure, aka Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, also put a mark on us. I swear to God that I'm not making this up. You see, the X on Sora's outfit in Dream Drop Distance, well, in the past, Xehanort's Heartless put this symbol on us so that in the future during our Mastery exam, the bad guys would be able to keep track of us. Then we get transported to Traverse Town and we see a lot of people running around.
You've been here many times. Your first journey, your voyage through memories, in the datascape, in your dreams, relived again and again, like déjà vu.
Well, it's not my fault that they are too lazy to come up with original worlds. This shows us all the different times in the past we have been here in this world. And not only us, but also Pluto, who was absent most of the time in KH1. But here is the explanation for this. He was manipulated by Namine to set up our future quasi-kidnapping to Castle Oblivion. Anyway, we have another weird headache, and Sora waking up once more in the world that never was. We run into Namine, who tries to run away. Sora grabs her hand and tries to tell her thanks, which he was planning to do for such a long time now. Now. But then she transforms into Xion and runs away. And not even now can the game keep her hood consistent, although I personally believe that this really was on purpose this time. They know about the memes. They know. Like, in theory, this whole last section is actually a very good idea. We get one big explanation for everything and what is about to await us in the future. But it's all so dumb! Well, not the thing about Namine kidnapping Pluto. That one is actually a pretty good setup. But the rest, dumb! Anyway, after this encounter that emotionally devastated Sora, he continues to run through the city for a while until he catches up to Xion. Only it's not Xion anymore, it's Roxas, telling us that this could have been the other way around. Yeah, it could have. It could. But you lost like a bitch. But Roxas admits, because Sora's heart is connected to so many of us, he is the one that deserves to be in charge. When Sora hears this, he tells Roxas that they are not the same, that Roxas isn't just some sort of clone, that he has the right to be his own person. Which only strengthens Roxas' conviction even more. He takes our hand and all the memories of the past are flooding through us. I mean, this is a very great emotional moment and all, but when Xehanort got reconnected with his Heartless and Nobody, he immediately had access to all of his memories and experiences. So, what was holding Sora back? Once again, it seems like the universe is a bit unfairly balanced. Our hero has another vision, this time about the birth by sleep trio part of his heart. We crash down to Earth on hard concrete. Boss, I think we need another Sora. As Zigbar makes it clear, Riku tried to wake us up and almost succeeded, but the evil dudes managed to pull us back in. Then, after Sora starts to think about what he just saw and felt for a moment, he concludes that nobodies must have hearts. Xemnas shows up and confirms this, saying that when a nobody is created, he may have no heart at first, but after some time, the soul and body will repair what is lost. Yes, we know, yes, everything has a heart, everything has a soul, everything is conscious, my couch has a personality.
Don't be racist, I am a building.
Xemnas knew this right from the start, but he lied to the organization members. Zigbar reveals the plan was to use empty shells and then use the powers of the artificial Kingdom Hearts and turn them all into copies of Xehanort.
But you, aren't you scared of just turning into someone else?
Me? I'm already half Xehanort.
Kingdom Hearts is a mess. A beautiful, beautiful mess. What can I say about this scene that hasn't already been said? It has been made fun of and memed to infinity and beyond. This is the scene that people show to other people when they want to prove the ancient old cliché that Kingdom Hearts was made by a person that the guy who eats human faces is afraid of. And the worst part is, it doesn't even get better when you show it in context. Sora gets enraged by the fact how these people treat other human beings, and so he bravely stands up to them. With him, in spirit, everyone who is connected to him. This is one of the most frustrating parts about being a Kingdom Hearts fan. On the one hand, you want to be angry at it for all of its bullshit. But then, just 1 minute later, it pulls something like this, and you think, God damn it, I could never be angry at you. And it's because of this why a lot of serious people can't get into these games. Because they only see the bullshit, but they don't see the emotional appeal. If Kingdom Hearts was a person, it would be a buck-toothed 14-year-old girl with braces so big that if you were to melt them down, you had enough materials to build a car. The type of person that you would feel embarrassed to watch at a talent show. And sure, it is fun to laugh at this sort of thing for a while, but eventually you have to ask yourself, why are you laughing at it? Shouldn't you feel respect for this person having this much confidence in itself? Because that's what Kingdom Hearts is to me. It has always stood true to itself and doesn't answer to anyone. And that's what makes it so unique. Zigbar orders Xemnas to deal with us, and he is doing exactly that. Once again, throwing more broken building parts at us than a Palestinian does at a Jewish soldier. Also, can I just mention that I'm impressed that Zigbar seems to have managed to climb the corporate ladder? Good for him. Sora beats Xemnas, but instead of finally freeing himself, he collapses to the floor and is slowly eaten by darkness. The man, who I think I can now safely identify for you all as young Xehanort, says that this was all part of their plan. The young lad has been so worn out and tired that they will have no problems now taking over his body and make another Xehanort out of him. As the darkness slowly wraps around us, young Xehanort explains that he will return to his time and grow up to become Master Xehanort, but he won't remember any of it, which is what Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, told him would happen. His knowledge of the future was only meant to be for so long in his mind as he was needed. But before the young Keyblade hero is fully lost, Ventus's heart protects Sora by giving him his armor. Psst, Sora, this is Ventus. Be quick about this. I borrowed this suit from Batman. Our chestnut-haired friend is protected temporarily, but not for too long, so we switch over to Riku, who is the only one left to help him. Another hooded figure appears, which later turns out to be Ansem, Seeker of Darkness. You know, for the sake of convenience, why don't we call this Ansem A and this Ansem B? Or D. Because darkness. Also, Xehanort, you didn't choose that guy because he was best suited to protect him, did you? You did it because you knew it would have an artistic touch to it, to let Riku once again face his old nemesis. Ansem D, yes, I'm going through with this, points out something very interesting. Why haven't we returned to the real world? After all, Xehanort hasn't any plans for us. Well, the reason for this is that Riku has been inside Sora's dream all this time.
And it will be like a taco inside a taco!
Sora and Riku, when they started the exam, were together at first and were meant to stay together, but Ansem appeared and Riku saw him. Knowing something was off, he entered Sora's dream without even knowing it. You know, on the one hand, this is ultra stupid. But on the other, I did mention that Riku was meant to visit different worlds than Sora was during development, but they had to scrap that idea. And now they are giving a reason within the story why that is. So it's kind of clever. Which wasn't so bad for the villains at all, because it allowed them to focus entirely on Sora and penetrate his heart. Because Riku was with his best friend the whole time, he experienced the dreams of Sora, but was also able to influence them to his benefit. As the symbol on Riku's back shows, he has become a Dream Eater. Sora's Dream Eater. Man, if only he had brought a mirror. 2 mirrors. Now that Sora has fallen to the darkness, Riku will as well, finally achieving Ansem's one and only dream. He suggests, what else, to accept the darkness, like the broken record player he is. But Riku realizes very quick that this is not only not the right way, but Ansem will keep annoying him as long as he has the darkness locked inside his heart. And so, he further realizes the only way is to purge it from himself. He fights Ansem and is victorious, but then suddenly he is brought to the city of the world that never was, and manages to gain access to the castle's meeting room, where a bunch of Xehanorts from different time periods are present. Like Renaissance Xehanort, and 1930s Xehanort, and Pilgrim Xehanort, and Caveman Xehanort. And now the moment has arrived. The moment that makes me hate this story. It should be no secret that I am a sucker for this series. A long time ago I learned to accept Kingdom Hearts in all its glorious silliness. Even Kingdom Hearts Coded, which among fans is often used as the example of the worst game in the franchise, I am willing to defend as a game that actually only does what a spin-off title should do. Tell a story that takes place in the universe, but can be, for all intents and purposes, be ignored. So, what is it exactly that makes my blood boil so much? Well, Riku is told by Xehanort, young and old, that the Keyblade, you know, the one he wanted to make in Birth by Sleep, can only be forged this way now. Legend has it the Keyblade broke into several parts when it was destroyed. 7 pure lights, 13 darknesses. The true purpose of Organization 13 has always been to create 13 absolute darknesses and also find 7 pure lights, bring them together and forge the Keyblade. Riku was once a candidate for this, but he became too resistant to darkness, and Roxas developed too much self-awareness. Fuck this moment! Fuck it! Fuck it yesterday! Fuck it tomorrow! Fuck it in the 5th dimension! Fuck it! Even that confusing time travel bullshit, where Kingdom Hearts was at its worst, with so unbelievably specific rules clearly set up for the single purpose of cramming it into the story somehow, I would have been able to forgive and ultimately, after a long time, accept it as part of Kingdom Hearts, to put it the most friendly way possible, unorthodox way of storytelling. But this I cannot forgive. Why? Because it invalidates all previous adventures. Say what you want about the games, but at least every single one of them has contributed something to the overall universe. But this takes away. This is not some minor retcon. This devalues Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 completely. Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, didn't want to bring darkness over the world by opening up the gates to Kingdom Hearts, believing the essence of existence is evilness. No, he simply wanted to gather 7 pure lights. The other stuff he did was because he was confused. Nobodies weren't something that took away from the past. No, they were built upon it. The creation of nobodies was something that happened alongside of what happened in Kingdom Hearts 1 and was influenced by it. This tries to desperately rewrite everything to make it fit. Xemnas wanted to create an artificial Kingdom Hearts for the sole purpose of creating more Xehanorts. You are telling me he gathered billions billions of hearts and used their combined power not to take over the universe, but to turn 13 people into evil clones in an instant. Something the old fart is able to do anyway, just not immediately, but slowly over time. This is what killed Dream Drop Distance for me. If it hadn't been for this time travel stuff, then it would have been just an average run-of-the-mill non-mainline title. But what they are doing here is so offensive. Forget these old stories. Only this one matters, and always has. It is just such a cruel, unforgiving, and thoughtless way to invalidate previous stories. And for what? So that Nomura can still pretend that he had it all planned out right from the start? No! No, you haven't! You make this shit up as you go along. Many of you are probably familiar with the secret ending in Kingdom Hearts 1, where we are shown Riku fighting against Roxas, which actually happens way later in Days. Now, this would imply Nomura is a genius, who always knew how it would turn out. But no, when the first game released, it wasn't even sure if there was going to be a sequel. I don't know what is going on in Nomura-san's head. I can't read minds. But what I think happened was that he had this cool idea for a scene and put it in and decided to figure out later how to have it make sense. How do I know that? Because I do that sometimes with reviews. I have this cool idea for one line that I definitely want to say in this one movie that I remember, and I just work my way towards that goal. The point is, Nomura has been reading too many fan theories. So, in a way, part of this mess is our fault. See, we joke about it a lot all the time, that the Kingdom Hearts storyline is so complex. But in truth, it really isn't. It's just a lot. We have been acting as if this story was this 500 IQ chess game until the creator himself gave in and played along, trying to prove that indeed it is as complicated as we all thought it was. Oh, Kingdom Hearts is confusing, alright, but not because of its story, but because its creator used every method in a book to throw us off at every opportunity he gets. Using names that sound similar, letting multiple characters look exactly the same, and always the freaking black hooded guy. But these things don't make the plot confusing, they are just confusing on their own. But not just Kingdom Hearts has this problem. A lot of stories these days try to make it so as if everything is always part of a grand plan and not just the result of happenstance, coincidence, and just luck. Of course, the other extreme of that is that everything just so happens to fall luckily into place. The trick in being an author is to find the right balance between these things. And the worst part is, it isn't even necessary. The story they want to tell works just as fine without acting as if it was all planned right from the start. Nomura is just acting like some neurotic hamster, unable to just let his story progress naturally. The same story could have been written with the same motives and goals, without any connections to the past, aside from the fact that they happened. If Xehanort just had said, all my previous plans failed, but this is why you have not only a plan A, but also B, all the way down to Z, then it would have been fine for me, but this is just disrespectful. It's offensive to me to think that these previous adventures cannot possibly be allowed to stand on their own, but have to serve the final story, and only the final upcoming story. It's degrading to those other adventures, because it's saying they were all nothing more than precursors, just tools. It kinda feels like Nomura really wanted to erase the past and start the story all over again. I know that's not what he wants, at least I hope so, but that's how it feels now, and how it comes across as if he came to believe that his previous work was all a mistake and wants to pretend the real story was always meant to start here. Yes, I may overreact a little, but that's because these stories are so important to me. Anyway, Riku has returned to the real world, even though his clothes and the symbol on his back say otherwise. And because Riku is now back in the real world, Mickey is able to find him. He charges in, tells him to grab Sora and go. But young Xehanort is unaffected by Mickey's time stop spell. Should all the other time travel Xehanorts then not also be unaffected? Anyway, young Xehanort fights fiercely and uses this fucking unfair ability where when you already have him at 0 HP, turns back time and is full again if you should fail. Then we come face to face with the master puppeteer himself, shriveled ballsack Master Xehanort, who says he tried to create the Keyblade by splitting Ventus into a pure and dark version, and that was an impatient move, born out of eagerness. Yes, the guy that went back in time and planned everything from the start and waited 10 years for his plan to unfold was impatient.
I should have seen it. As soon as Maleficent started gathering the 7 princesses of heart.
Yes. They were all my doing.
Don't push me.
I used the evil fairy to find 7 pure lights for me.
Suck my popsicle. It is revealed by the evil man that there will be 7 pure lights again, who will clash with the darkness, but there will be Keyblade wielders this time. But why would Xehanort want to make Sora a vessel of his? I mean, he needs him to fight against him, so to forge the ultimate weapon. His plan is dumb. We get a few cool fight scenes. It looks like we are losing, but then Axel saves us. Or rather Lee. Could you please by any chance take off the black clothes? It only adds to the confusion.
You had your perfect little script, but you kind of forgot to write the sequel.
I cannot fathom how these games can be this self-aware. Or not. Fight, 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 fighty, fighty, fight, 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 fight. Oh yeah, and then Donald and Goofy also show up and kill Ansem's guardian Heartless, as if it was a Super Mario enemy. The time traveler's time is up and Xehanort simply vanishes, telling us that we will end this at a destined place. Back at the Tower of Master Yen-Sid, where the assembled crowd tries to figure out a way to wake up Sora from his dream. The owner of the mysterious tower reminds Riku that since he has unlocked all the keyholes in Sora's dream, he should have the necessary power now to awaken his friend.
He's always been like that. The 3 of us would agree to work on the raft, and then this guy would go take a nap on the beach.
Let it go.
Riku goes and defeats the demon that is holding Sora captive, then meets a couple of people who live inside Sora's heart, asking him questions similar to the way the children on Destiny Island did in the very first Kingdom Hearts game. Here, they have to be answered correctly to unlock the secret ending. After answering all their questions, Riku meets Ansem the Wise, of all people. But not the real one, but a digital version of himself he put inside Sora during his time in the mansion in Kingdom Hearts 2 in case he won't survive the battle against Xehanort, and does have at least something that remains of him. Considering how many people are inside of Sora already, it should have said after 5 seconds, storage full. He contemplates all his mistakes, all the people he unintentionally hurt, but also explains to Riku that Sora is remarkable. He was able to be reborn without destroying his own nobody, so perhaps within him lies the power to give new life to all people that were presumed dead. Plus, you always have something that you can use against them when you want to. You don't want to lend me your sugar? I guess some people are just thankless. Even those whose life you save. Ansem goes on talking about Sora, his uncorrupted heart, the countless of people he has touched and connected to, his saint-like behavior of first seeing the good in people and accepting anyone he can. That is the reason why he is the chosen one, why he has to be, and that is why he will save us all by simply being himself. Before Riku leaves, he is asked by Ansem his name, since they never got around that in all the time they worked together. This is a cool sentiment and all, but this is not a real Ansem. The real Ansem is stuck somewhere in the realm of darkness, so once he gets free, you have to talk to him all over again. Then again, this is a computer program, so we could see it as a kind of practice run. Riku wakes up in Yensid's study room, where everyone is waiting for him.
Gosh, it sure is yummy.
Hey!
Sora definitely comes after his father.
Wait, haven't we got this backwards? And why are you having a tea party?
You're safe, Riku!
Oh, never mind.
I hope you have good teeth. The Mad Hatter thinks it's very impolite if you don't eat his porcelain. Finally, the hour of revelation is here. The results of their exams are in.
Sora and Riku, you both deserve the honor. However, one of you braved the realm of sleep again to unlock the final keyhole and save a friend. Riku, I name you our new true Keyblade Master.
Are you and Phil in the same club together who won't let Sora have anything nice?
Way to go, Riku!
Yeah?
I knew you were gonna pass with flying colors. This is just so awesome.
That's my boy.
You know I was gonna come swooping in, Keyblade in hand. But I just couldn't get mine to materialize. Must be in the snap of the wrist or something. Oh.
You get a Keyblade! You get a Keyblade! You get a Keyblade! Everybody gets a Keyblade! And a car you can't afford. In situations like these, I always tell myself, it's okay. As long as Sora is the one with the most extraordinary Keyblade, as long as he is the owner of the Keyblade, then it's still not like Dragon Ball, where everybody is a Super Saiyan, thus undercutting its original specialness. That's what I have to tell myself. Finally, the game ends with Sora returning to the sleeping world, visiting all his Dream Eater friends, that I most definitely have taken into my heart and not felt like they were extra work, and that I most definitely have collected all during my playthrough. And that was Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Sleep well, my kids. Zgermanguy out. And till next time. Auf Wiedersehen.